This course is about learner-centered classroom because teachers are mostly using the traditional way of teaching, and learner-centered classroom is a new strategy that has been introduced and the latest teaching approach. So what's wrong with traditional approaches? We're going to discuss that, and uh, the traditional approaches require students to memorize large amounts of material and multiple choice testing to assess students and they recall information. These are all called teacher-centered approaches. What we are going to do in this course is we're going to introduce learner-centered approach. This is an approach of teaching that focuses on student learning and changes the focus from teacher to the student. Learner-centered teaching is not just one specific teaching method. It has lots and lots of methods and methodology that can be used. So we're going to discuss why we're going to implement learner-centered approach, why should we implement learner-centered approach, and the classic learning theories that support learner-centered teaching. We will discuss some literature that supports learner-centered approaches, and some outcome. We are going to discuss the outcome of learner-centered teaching, some indicators, implementation of learner-centered teaching, and the function and the content of the learner-centered approach. And plus the role of the instructor, how the instructor has to conduct him or herself so that the classroom is more learner-centered rather than teacher-centered, and taking the responsibilities for learning and the purpose and process of assessment in the learner-centered environment. And we're going to talk about the balance of power that is between the teacher and the learner. And then we are going to discuss some rubrics. Uh, Rubrics are basically related to the change and the process that brings change, a planning and a transformation form. Um, can all courses be learner-centered, or is there a requirement for teacher-centered role as well?